is the sniper a good pick against the... I mean, I don't see the matchup too often, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm just assuming it's not. I could be wrong, though.
Up against a Night Stalker, it's a toss-up. I think it really remains to be seen. On mid, up against the OD, that one, it takes a few levels for snipers to start being really abusive. OD can kind of play around. Of course, the main issue here is that OD's early levels in Astral, the range is pretty atrocious, so he's not going to be able to apply pressure on Nothing to Say with the imprisonment as often as he'd like. Maybe we're going to be seeing a different build, maybe emphasis on the orb. I'm not sure if that's really something you want, though, as it does slow down your lane farm a bit and your creep control. Should be interesting to see. Sniper is still pretty potent down mid, don't get me wrong. Like, his toolkit is still really annoying, and, you know, he can harass quite well, so we'll see how exactly TNC does opt to deal with that.
Yeah, should be a fun matchup to say the least. We'll see if AXH can pick up their first game of the night, or whether TNC is going to go undefeated throughout these groups, for today at least.
Well, not me. Already made up my mind.
And more importantly, how are they going to run this POS 1 Night Stalker, is my question. I mean, it's still a... I think it's out in the end. If you get enough farm, as Gabby has been every game, he just turns into a monster, quite literally. And I imagine that's just what happens. It does have some decent right-click damage, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really strong, actually, if you find a farm. Again, itemization's pretty open. I'm not sure... I mean, the Ags is so good, you could probably... Oh my god, Armel! Whoa, Armel! Nice tip, though. Props.
Well, I believe Velo's Australian, right? I mean, he's got a sense of humor. He understands.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's just a joke.
Absolutely. Of course,
Armel needs to calm down.
You can't blame us, Mike. I mean, it's part of our nature to insult, you know? It's like the Filipinos are quite similar to you Australians in that sense, that we just can't help it.
That's fair enough, John. Thank you for that. Bot lane.
Velo.
Uh-oh.
Where'd he go?
I imagine a disconnection, unless Armel literally tilted him, but I highly doubt that.
Is that the NBN, Mike?
It could be the NBN, yes. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Oh, Miracle as well.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's our first pause in a while. That's a pretty good respite. You know, gives us a chance to just... Well, not much of a chance since Velo's back.
Why do you sound so disappointed about that? You want to break that bad, John?
Well, you know, it's kind of dinner time, actually. I wonder if TNC is rushing these... No. Here's my theory. The reason why that last game went so fast is because TNC is really damn hungry.
You think so?
I reckon so. Like, it's nighttime. It's a Saturday night. I'm sure these guys want to grab some good dinner somewhere in Metro Manila. I don't know any good dinner spots in Metro Manila. But I'm sure they would want to, because I don't stay there too often, Mike. I'm a country bumpkin. From the boondocks.
Well, there you go, John. It's unfortunate that you couldn't provide TNC with some dinner options, I suppose.
I'm sure they can afford much better dinners than I can, Mike. Much better dinners.
I don't know what you're talking about, John. The casting salaries are quite high around this area. We are crazy amounts of money flying into us, for sure. Much more than TNC, definitely.
Of course, right? Yeah, almost enough to really surpass tournament winners here. Something to be really proud of, Mike. I'm sure, Lou, you're having a good time there. And, well, we are back to the game. It looks like there is going to be some posturing over that bottom ruin, really. That's been a point of contention for a lot of teams, and it looks like KP should be able to just grab it. It looks like it should be a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, Velo, he'll take the other top two. A lot of mangoes set up for Velo, so he is planning to be rather aggressive with this bristleback, which is fair enough. Definitely wants to give Gabby a taste of his own medicine. Gabby, we'll see how much he cares for the medicine, though. As right now, he is alone. But it looks like March will make his way up top on the coddle. This laning stage, theoretically, you would argue should favor the bristleback, right?
Yeah, definitely so. There's no two ways about it. Night Stalker's a great hero, great stats, great regen, but it's not going to hold up too well against Velo until he starts running out of mana. But he has 4 mangoes, so that's probably not going to be an issue until much later on.
Hollison. Doing a fair bit of damage from March, although he's trying to give it back, but March just has such a nice range. Oh, Gabby, I mean, just a passive hit. Hollison.
Yeah,
Diving
that's
under the
pretty
T1
deep.
tower. Yeah, that is pretty deep. March, he's going to keep going.
Full?
He's got one blinding light available, so he could... Hollison?
Huh?
Is he lagging? Is that what's happening? He's looping back around to Gabby, so they're going to try and go after the Night Stalker, but there's the blinding
push
light
back.
now. Gabby, he's in trouble though. Gabby may be the first blood here. He stick charges up Velo. He's going to keep going, and revenge is almost taken. Velo, no, he misses the quill spray.
What?
The salve is just perfectly used, and now Paulison going to run back in after the T1 tower. Gabby's just going to chase. And this is truly some SCA Dota right here, John. They're really making it happen as March falling very, very low. Gabby will survive. Velo has used 3 of his 4 mangoes, and unfortunately it did not lead to a kill, and his support is forced to run away. He's probably going to have about 1 tango left in a second when he uses this one, or perhaps he just doesn't. But this is, I mean, that's a rough start to the off lane, not being able to find that kill, committing that much.
Yeah, it's a major loss for hashtag here. They lose so much in terms of the regen from Velo. 1 mango, no more tangos because he has to pop it. You can't trade with a Night Stalker anymore. He's just so much better off. He still has his stick charges as well. 6 charges on that stick. He's just going to be able to sustain quite well. I'm surprised March didn't die, actually. He was so on the edge there, but never in the range for that last bristle, for that last quill.
Well, it looks like at the very least, mid lane is going decently for the side of AXH. And nothing to say, pretty much keeping up with Armel, though Armel is being very aggressive with that OD and Astral Imprisonment. We're just trying to punish this sniper, though nothing to say is certainly giving it back his way. Not being allowed to just bully him out of the lane. Of course, down to the bot lane, KP. The core Abaddon, it's very hard to try and push this man out of the lane. KP will probably just be trading farm the whole time without really dying once.
Definitely, and you have to take note of the difference in the state of those off lanes as well. KP, he still has 3 mangoes, he still has his 2 tangos as well. He's having a fantastic time here in the bot lane compared to top.
Yeah, and speaking of, Paulison is really diving these T1 towers and copping a lot of hits. Velo does the same. They're trying to maintain some control and order. They're going to go after Gabby again. Blinding Light Velo, he's going deep. Paulison could be in trouble. The T1, if it attacks him right now, would be really bad, and Gabby will find it anyway. I mean, Velo's trying to go after March, and Paulison's going after Gabby. And well, now, Velo, Blinding Light, March kind of knocks him the other way. Velo turns around. Gabby, though, salving up and has Void to use. Out of range just barely, but here comes Tims, who's been missing off the map, and Gabby will pick up a secondary. And there's the tip. There's your revenge.
Oh man, this game is just something else. Just what both teams are doing is, it's just such classic Southeast Asian gameplay. I don't know. This is peak C we're seeing here, Mike.
It certainly is. It's a beautiful thing, John. The beautiful thing is Armel playing with fire here is very low HP, has a Fairy Fire available. Double damage now available and nothing to say, but Armel just does not care. He'll walk the other way. Looks like he will end up just perfectly fine. Meanwhile, the one man we haven't looked at is Tims on the Enigma, who has just been free farming the jungle. And it looks like he's going to have some pretty darn good timings on his items because he's just uncontested. Top lane, though, looks like they went after Gabby again. Gabby is okay for now, though. One more Quill Spray should do it, and it does. Nighttime hits, they find the kill, and there's 5-minute bounty runes. So Tims has already found both top bounty runes, so he denies them those. And KP finds both bot bounty runes.
That is still a pretty decent time for TNC. Granted, you did give away your Night Stalker. Gabby's not going to be too happy about that, but Velo is going to be forced to pop the Shrine here to keep a presence in this lane. That does take it away from their mid laner as well, so nothing to say. He's going to have to dip into that bot fountain if he wants to stay alive, and that it's a bit further out. He's not going to be too happy about that, but at the same time, you have to give it to that off lane. They have been struggling.
Certainly. Of course, down at bot lane, one man who has not been struggling so far is Miracle. 33 last hits, 9 denies on the jug, so he is on point right now. And this is one of those scary things. You have a pos 1 Night Stalker, but Does it compare against the POS 1 Jug? Arguably not. Miracle is certainly, I mean, if he can keep finding this farm, he is going to be the powerhouse that the Radiant need to pull off this win.
Definitely so. You cannot underestimate the power that could come out of the Jug. I'm really curious to see how he itemizes. Is he going to go for that Battle Fury? Is he going to go for the fast Yasha or Diffusal to start fighting early? Maybe the drums as well. It's really quite open-ended with the Jug. And again, you don't have any direct synergies here, so you have a lot to work with.
Oh, Gabby may have overextended again as Miracle will rotate in. Has Omni, won't need it though. Velo will find the kill, though March. Illuminate won't really reach in time. And so it looks like they might actually go for a lane switch here. This Miracle did TP top, so he may just take over. Might just see Velo just transition down to the bot lane instead.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. You need some space for the Bristleback. If he misses his timing, he isn't really a hero. Like, he gets so far ahead early on, he's massive, but you miss that by just a bit and your impact is much, much less than you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is as well, while they TP top like that,
oh, nothing to say.
He's in trouble. Mel, Gabby, they're just going to set up on this sniper, although he is dealing some nice damage to Armel. They will still find the kill. Velo should be able to find the trade. The Fairy Fire is there, but Armel will not be enough, and now Gabby needs to run away, but Velo, the creeps are blocking, and he will just not chase in the end. And look at bot lane though, Chot. Paulson finds March top lane, fair enough, but you're losing your bot tier 2 tower now.
Yeah, TNC's hungry, Mike. They don't want this game to last too long. They're taking as much as they can. Tim's has been super effective pushing with his Enigma, and that's something we have seen for a bit, but nothing this fast.
Well, nothing to say meanwhile. Finds Gabby on the Night Stalker. And so a 5-3 now. Radiant in the lead. Net worth lead is basically equal anyway, but it is slightly the way of TNC. And they are going to try and apply pressure to that mid tower, though Armel, Astral's up, Velo. He's just going to make the chase, and Armel, he's being rather aggressive considering there's a Bristleback there. And now KP, he's going to rotate in as well. They will find the OD, nothing to say though. Going to end up going down to the process to KP, and Velo, he'll just back out. In fact, no, he'll turn around back after KP. Perhaps even Tim's on the Enigma. Tim's though, he'll throw out the Malefice, and everything appears to just be resetting in this mid lane. Oh, never mind. Apparently Gabby just finds Miracle.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a pretty big kill. You do see Velo regaining some space with those early kills. Still just enough to get him a soul ring and nothing else. So you are still kind of winning out here as TNC. In fact, Gabby's not done.
He's not. He wanted the Lich, but Winter does have the help of Velo there. And Velo, although he hasn't had the greatest laning stage, is up there now. Up there enough that the Cool Spray actually does some damage. Gabby will return back up to the top lane and go back to farming. Meanwhile, bot jungle, Paulson is being chased down by Tims on the Enigma. Tims commits the black hole. He's got the Islands, he's got the Helm of the Dom. He'll take down Paulson. Miracle the stun. Is he actually going to get two of them? Not quite. The Frost Nova will be there, but Winter, he's actually falling quite low on the Lich. And so Tims just casually commits a black hole by himself and ends up finding a kill regardless. I'm not sure how worthwhile you call that, John, but this game is completely different to what anyone's used to casting or watching for that matter.
Definitely is, and I'm really glad for that. We're at 7-6 at 9 minutes in. A 1k lead for TNC, just a very slight lead. And Dota Plus does say the probability is about 40-60 in favor of TNC. So things are still going swimmingly well for TNC. But there are still ways for Hashtag to capitalize off of any, misfed kills. Velo is already ahead of Gabby in terms of levels at the very least, and that is a good sign. It does give you some opportunities to be ahead.
More rotations in though, Velo. Gonna be careful as KP gonna roam in as the Abaddon, and Velo gonna be able to just walk out. A Hex is there just in case. It looks like Gabby will just rotate bot now as the Night Stalker, and maybe perhaps just try to go after Miracle. Miracle just gonna spin TP away, realizing this is a really bad lane to be in right now. And Gabby will just automatically take over the bot lane as the Night Stalker. Meanwhile though, mid lane is being pushed in by the Serpent Word, so Holison will end up finding that tier 1 mid tower. So they are making work happen, AXH. They will smoke up the supports as well and rotate up to the top lane. With KP. He's a pretty hard target to try and go for, though, with borrowed time, but it looks like they're going to give it a shot.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Paulson goes in with the shackle. He already had the shield available. They pop that. Velo going to rotate in. KP probably just going to man fight this. Frost shield will be there. Miracle's here now as well. He has the Omni. There's that borrowed time kicking in, and now they should be able to find this as KP. He has stuck around a little too long, although a fighting shield. He has TP. He will not survive in the end. March was coming in to try and help out, but he is not really able to. And well, with that, AXH, they find another nice kill.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's clean pickups for them so far. The smokes are paying off. They should be able to find this tower as well. They're getting themselves a lot more space in the map and trying to minimize the lead TNC has, which has been working out for the most part. Although at this point, I think TNC should be set up to try to take a push down mid. Tims is still trying to build up though.
Happening to Radiant's middle tower. Dire just fortified.
Well, that's kind of the problem with them being so aggressive on the side of TNC.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They don't really farm too much. Of course, the Radiant side going to be very, very happy about that, as they will start pushing in that mid tier 1 tower now. Looks like TNC will end up backing off though, as Velo is just way too intimidating on that BB.
Who stalks there?
And it looks like TNT might actually take a bit of a farm break. So I feel like it is quite justified, like they have not farmed at all. Meanwhile, Miracle is still basically free farming. And Velo somehow has gotten to the top of the net worth board.
Yeah, it's a bristleback, right? You give him enough space, he can clear out camps quite fast, and he is certainly finding it.
For you.
Like March, or Miracle, excuse me, top lane does end up committing the Omni Slash and does find the Keeper of the Light. So another nice pickup for him. That means he has the free top lane for himself. And TNC aren't really anywhere nearby to try and shut him down. So he'll just continue free farming up. Looks like he has already picked up the Asha. I imagine he'll probably go into a Maelstrom pretty darn soon.
You have the Midas
Midas
up as well. Yeah, Midas on, nothing to say. That should help him speed up his farm, although he is, again, doing quite well for himself. Actually, the top three are all on the side of AXH right now. So they're really comfy with a farm. It's still just about a 1k lead, though. So it's not a massive amount, but they are holding the tide here from TNC. I think TNC can't afford to really hold out the space too much. They've got to make use of that early advantage they have in terms of power spikes, melt objectives as they go. If they delay the game any longer, they're going to be running into a few issues once the sniper is really online.
KP. Gonna get spotted by Velo. Meanwhile, Tim's gonna get spotted by Nothing to Say now on the sniper. Miracle is just continuing to push out this top lane. He's got about 1.5k in the bank account right now. Hasn't queued up anything quite yet, so he's just trying to make a decision as to what he really wants. I suppose an early Manta wouldn't be too bad up against the Night Stalker, considering that silence is just so obnoxious, but we'll see. Of course, you always want that Maelstrom as well. Miracle just gonna keep this up, like nobody's pressuring him whatsoever.
It's really curious coming out from TNC, the fact that they're not punishing Miracle being this far forward. But at the same time, Tims is kind of doing the same thing down bot. He's shoving out the lane, going in and out of the jungle, finding farm for himself. It looks like they might actually just be waiting for the Blink Dagger to be coming out from the Enigma, and there's really nothing to cancel off that black hole if he catches the right people.
Has this literally turned into a pub game?
It does feel like it, Mike. It definitely does feel like a pub game.
Miracle just going to keep pushing in that top tier 2. Gabby is still farming down bot lane. He is going for the Aghanim Scepter on the Night Stalker. Of course, mid lane Tim's is taking the T1 and he should be able to find it now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That is almost enough money for that blink. But Serpent Wards are down at the top and they will go ahead and shackle up KP. Again, he's a very hard target though. Velo actually getting mana drained up.
Dire's
Gonna
top
run
tower
away
has
but
fallen.
lose quite a bit of mana in the process. And they do end up finding that tier 2 top tower. And so AXH still en route to get a lot of work done this game. But there will be a smoke coming out from TNC. Now, there is a Blink Dagger on the way for Tim, so perhaps it's a surprise reveal, though it looks like Velo has already kind of started. And KP
Who stalks there?
thinking about chasing. AXH, they just get the hell out of there. They're not risking anything.
Gabby.
He walks in, but he's kind of by himself as March will walk in and again just mana leak Velo. It's going to be very frustrating for Velo to keep losing mana like this. Here's Gabby. He does have the Ags up, so he probably wants to make as much use of it as possible early on. But AXH, they kind of realize if they just stick by together as a team, they're probably going to end up being okay, because they are just generally more farmed on their cores right now.
They definitely are, but again, that lead is pretty stable at just about 1k. It's not going further or lower than that, and that isn't a clear net worth advantage, so to say. So TNC still has ways of playing around that as well. We do have the blink up on Tim's, but he's not gonna commit until his BKB is up, apparently.
Don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
Well, T1 top will be going down with absolutely no congestion.
And over here, Radiant's top tower. Radiant's top tower.
They smoke
has
up
fallen.
again TNC. They're going to try for something else. KP now pick up a minus, casually at 18 minutes in.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
And who do they go for?
They will suffer.
Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Seeming like nobody's really on the map to try and go for TNC. So, I mean, AXH, they seem to realize if they just keep farming up, they drag this out as long as possible with as much or as less kills as possible, eventually they will just outscale the side of TNC.
It's a fair point to make. I mean, the high ground push is always going to be hellish up against that sniper, so they have that going for them as the game goes on. But again, you're really not shutting TNC down in terms of farm. They are actually farming quite well themselves. You do see Armel on the OD. He has his blink up now as well, working towards that Hurricane Pike next to really add on the distance and the chase potential.
You know, I could have sworn you said that TNC may be hungry for dinner.
I guess they figured Alpha is hungry as well, and if they slow it down, one of them is going to be hungrier than the other. Perhaps that's the game plan. That is maybe a bit of an oddball mental tactic nonetheless.
Certainly is.
It is a bit distressing though, Mike. You take a look at that scoreboard, 9-6. If those numbers were flipped around, that would be a bit more nice.
Oh my. How rude, John.
It's not. It's just numbers, Mike. I know what you mean.
How dare you?
It's just numbers, dude. Very nice numbers.
Gabby appears to be going for a BKB. Things are pretty standard on the Night Stalker. So he hasn't gone for some special right-click build at all. He's just doing the usual kind of thing.
It's kind of disappointing, I'll be honest. I did expect something a bit, I wouldn't say wacky, just out there. Less typical. But it looks like they are going to be riding on the back of Armel for the heavy-duty right-clicks coming out. And again, he's going to be very effective up against that Bristleback. Even the Jug's going to be annoyed a bit if he gets drained of his mana off the bat. So you do have that. Again, the biggest worry I have for TNC is that high ground against Nothing to Say. He is farming decently on the sniper. He's getting the EXP he needs. And high ground against sniper is never fun. No matter what lineup you have, no matter what you do, it's just not fun. Paulson?
Just funny, I just realized as well the F10K betters shot. Currently having mini heart attacks right now, just waiting for that final kill from one side or the other. This is a very awkward situation for them as we've been sitting here for 10 minutes or so with really nobody engaging at all. Velo will try mid lane on KP, but that isn't about him. He will probably just outrun you. But Velo not giving up. There's the borrowed time. He'll keep slowing him down, but no. He purges off the slows, and that'll be the end of that.
Yep. It's a good try. Good attempt from Velo to break the monotony, but in the end, everything stays the same. Again, Alpha, that would have given them the F10K. Unfortunately, not quite yet.
Trust the Australians to be the only ones fighting in this game right now. Roshan now is the attempt from Velo apparently as he does move in. Will TNC contest? Probably not. They haven't for the past 10 minutes, and there's the Serpent Wards. Yeah, they're dropping him down. Screw it, let's just go for it. Quill sprays are stacking up. March will spot him out. I don't know if they regret this now. Healing Ward has been placed down in the back of the Roshan pit, but March says, no, you are blind. TNC though, they are not willing to let this go as they do smoke up now on the side of AXH. There goes the Will-O-Wisp now. Tim's, where is he? Kind of just sitting in the back apparently. Yep, he's just waiting for a black hole attempt. Winter is keeping eyes on him though. Meanwhile, Roshan is falling low. Omni is there on Armel, but doesn't really do much. Roshan goes down mellow. He does manage to grab it just in the nick of time, and Gabby, he'll get started. Tim finds the black hole on 3 of them as well. It's going to be a beauty at that. Winter goes down as well. Now Bello, he's a sitting duck to Armel. There goes the Aegis. And TNC will just surround. And well, Velo, there's really not much he can do here. There's no Roshan to deny yourself to either, and he will just run into a cave and die peacefully.
That is 60 int on Armel from right-clicking the Bristleback Mike. He has not dropped Santi, so if they respawn, they push the high ground, just press R. That's a delete button.
Fair enough. TNT, we'll see if they do it. I mean, they could just bait it out by going for the tier 3 towers. Tier 3 going to be a very quick process for KP and Armel. Tim's, he'll TP back to the fountain, and no Armel, he'll have none of it. He'll get back as well. Miracle just trying to keep up in farm once again. He'll just get back to the Dire Jungle and farm up the best he can.
Yeah, it's a slow and steady game for AXH. I think they understand. Again, they have the high ground advantage. They've got cores that can go a bit more insane than TNC's does. TNC's do have a hard cap. That OD is going to be counteracted by BKBs coming out. And Gabby, of course, does have a hard timer. Even as the Night Stalker is good at all points in the game, it does not really equate to a heavy-hitting right-click carry, especially with the way Gabby has decided to itemize. So again, AXH, they're not under too much pressure. As long as they hold the high ground, as long as they have their tier 3s, they're going to be very happy because, again, they have nothing to say to just be a complete nuisance.
The thing is, when Gabby hits level 25, that level 25 talent, that attack speed bonus, I mean, it kind of gets a bit ridiculous. So in some weird way, it kind of concerns me here for AXH, because even if they drag this out, if this Night Stalker breaks the distance on the sniper, he's just dead. Is KP gonna get caught?
Velo
will be fine, although it does drop low, but borrow time is there, and now Gabby just going in with the 4-man void. He'll go straight after Paulson on the Shaman. Meanwhile, the sniper, nothing to say, fighting Armel. He will end up going down though. Miracle does end up finding Tim's meanwhile, and now the Chain Frost bouncing around Miracle, actually making work happen with Winter. But here comes Gabby once again on the Night Stalker, takes him out, and Sanity's being dropped on Miracle. And it's just another full team wipe apart from Velo, who apparently got out of there scot-free. But I say free, he did lose four of his teammates in the process.
Yeah, that's a rough one. It was rather unfortunate they lost their biggest cores there. AXH. So they lost the sniper, they lost the jug. The Santee's finally being dropped by Armel just deletes the jug off the map. And that should give them enough space to take out the last tier 2 here. Whether or not they go to the high ground, which is probably not, because they did just expend some big spells. They do have the black hole back up, but again, they're pretty much not in position to maximize that last push. So they're just going to clear out that last tier 2 and get themselves a bit more farm to get going.
Velo now. BKB is up on him. That OD not going to be much more of a nuisance towards him, at least while that BKB is active. And Paulson also picks one up himself.
Double dot.
So suddenly now you've essentially got a shackle you can't really interrupt. But apart from the black hole usage from Tims, which could do so. Speaking of, Tims is actually just going for a Shadow Blade now, just so he can ensure he lands a massive black hole for the team. It almost feels like both teams just made an agreement to farm up as much as possible and just see who wins later on.
It does feel that way, but I don't know. It's like, it does make a lot of sense for AXH to play this way. No doubt about it. Because that, again, it's the long con for them. TNC, I think they just don't want to risk anything too much. Like, if they can get an item advantage, they will. This is very awkward as Miracle is trying to clear out camps right next to them, but there are no wards to spot that out. They should see it if he runs back to his shrine area, but is just going to go with that creep wave.
Gabby gonna get spotted by Velo for a second. Still not an easy kill because it is nighttime.
There it goes.
Oh, they have the Abaddon Ags up on KP.
Oh, well that's a bit of fun. Velo. KP says hello. Meanwhile, around. Do see the Hunter of the Night coming in, Tims. He's ready to go whenever. Although they have Bound Paulson. Now the Chain Frost from Winter just stopping this Enigma. Black Hole will come out. He caught the Jug. It's just the Jug alone, but that's the only one they really want. Meanwhile, Gabby finds Miracle. Tims found Miracle. In fact, Winter was taken down by Gabby, and now nothing to say. Tries the BKB TP. It will be no good as Velo trying to outrun them right now. He's probably not going to get away though, as Sanities does end up dropping.
Do Radiant want their
And now they're finally at the tier 3 towers.
Their creep wave is not, though. So I'm not sure about the success of this push. TNC, they're trying their best.
Just
They're
part
chipping
of the
away.
challenge, John.
It's part of the challenge. I mean, the creeps are finally coming in.
Do Radiant want their middle towers to fall?
You know there's a problem when you have to fortify through backdoor protection.
Definitely.
Radiant
But this should be the full set of racks. Again, for the defense, Alpha does still have that Omni Slash. The Black Hole's expended, the Santee's is dropped. So this is TNC at their weakest.
Radiant's middle barracks is full.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh,
That's a long range shackle.
Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
Hex him up, Paulson. That'll be it.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
So TNC now 1 racks ahead. Dota Plus 93% win probability that TNC will win out this game.
Is under attack.
The nice smoke coming out from AXH. They want to go for this team fight. Shrine is going to go down, but Velo shows himself now. The rest of TNC are pretty much out of there apart from KP. He has borrowed time though,
Under attack.
and now they're gone.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
yeah, it's again just slow and steady coming out here. I'm wondering when Miracle will actually commit the Omni Slash in these big team fights. He's holding onto it a lot, which is fair because there aren't any clear kill ops. His damage isn't quite great yet. At the same time, dying without using the Omni Slash does off the bat just kind of sounds counterproductive.
He's just casually taking the bot shrine by himself. Well, Gabby being slowed down, KP as well. Looks like they might just focus down KP. In fact, borrow time is there just in the nick of time. Mel jumps in as well. He'll get started. The Velo does BKB, and here's the Will-O-Wisp. And, well, Gabby, he'll jump straight in on that sniper. Nothing to say, is gone. Now the Void comes in on the Lich. He's gone as well. Gabby doesn't look like he's done quite yet, though. Paulson will hex up. Can they cancel the TP? They absolutely can. The Void will make it in time, and now they get a third pickup. In fact, there might be even more, as Velo will at least manage to TP out. Tibbs just following Miracle in the Shadow Blade, and now Miracle's dead as well.
They managed to keep the Bristleback alive for AXH. That's not the hero you want to be alive at this point. There's only so much Velo can get done with how much farm he has now, and you really have to transition that priority onto your Jug, onto your Sniper. Unfortunately, TNC keeps jumping the right heroes at the right time, finding these major kills. They have their Black Hole, they have the Santi's Eclipse as well.
And over here, Radiant's top tower.
Armel.
Just casually walking in onto Velo. 40 stolen in. Sanity's available. It's a very, very scary position for the side of AXH. Armel just going to take the tier 3 by himself.
Radiant's top tower.
And yep, TNC, they'll back off once again.
It's just calculated. It's just really calculated coming out here from TNC. Like, they're just taking their time. They're not pressuring. They're not pressured to end this game, and they're just going to be going back to that Roche.
Well, Gabby's almost level 25. I assume that's when he'll want to go in. See if AXH can actually fight in this Roshan pit right now. Probably not recommended, as Tims does have the hole back up. Gabby doesn't even care for the Roche. He goes straight after Paulson, but BKB was already committed. Paulson will go for the BKB TP, but gets smashed through it. And now Black Hole, it looks like Tims did end up finding nothing to say by himself. And with that, do they go ahead and just take another Rax? Well, they'll go for more hero kills first. Winter will go down. Miracle being slowed up, although he'll be alright. Mel jumps in with the Sanities and almost blows up the Jug. The buybacks are coming out. Velo almost a 4. Chain Frost bouncing through, but not really doing much. They may end up finding the Abaddon, though no KP. He pops the borrowed time. And Tims? Yeah, they'll go after that top Rax now.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks are
Omni is going to be pretty decent, but doesn't really do enough damage to anyone. Miracle spins, just tries to do something, but everyone's just getting destroyed on the side of AXH. Will-O-Wisp is there on the Jug as well. They take him out, and there's the GG well played call. Mel just fountain diving at this point with the Hurricane Pike. And I suppose this is why TNC are known as the favorites in these close qualifiers, John. I mean, that was a very decisive victory from them.
It definitely was. AXH, they had a bit of a better showing than their game 1.